Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly being unable to understand anyone around you. Your friends sound like strangers. Your neighbors speak words you've never heard before. Trade stops. Communication collapses. Confusion spreads everywhere. According to one of the Bible's most famous stories, something very similar happened long ago. At a time when all humanity supposedly spoke one language, people united to build a city and a tower unlike anything the world had ever seen. Their goal was ambitious, their project was massive, and their story has survived for thousands of years. But was the Tower of Babel a real structure? Could archaeologists have found evidence of it? And what really happened? Let's investigate. To understand the Tower of Babel, we must travel back to the world described after Noah's flood. According to the book of Genesis, humanity descended from Noah and his family. As generations passed, populations grew, families expanded, communities formed. Eventually, people began migrating across the ancient world. The Bible describes a remarkable detail about this period. It says the entire world shared one language and one form of speech. Imagine the possibilities. No language barriers, no need for translators. Ideas could spread instantly. Cooperation would be easier than ever. For a growing civilization, this unity was a powerful advantage, and it would soon lead to an extraordinary project. As people migrated eastward, they arrived in a fertile region called Shinar. Most historians associate Shinar with ancient Mesopotamia, an area located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Today, this region lies largely within modern-day Iraq. Mesopotamia is often called the cradle of civilization. Some of the world's earliest cities emerged there. Agriculture flourished. Trade expanded, technology advanced. The people who settled in Shinar saw opportunity, and they had a bold vision. Instead of scattering across the earth, they decided to remain together. They would build a great city, and at its center, they would construct a tower that would become legendary. The book of Genesis records their famous declaration, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top reaches the heavens." This statement has fascinated readers for centuries. Did they literally believe they could reach heaven? Or was the tower intended as a symbol of human achievement? Whatever their intentions, one thing is clear. The project was about more than architecture. It was about identity, power, legacy. The builders wanted to create something so magnificent that future generations would remember them forever. They wanted to make a name for themselves, and they feared being scattered across the world. So they united their skills, labor, and resources toward a common goal. The Tower of Babel had begun. The Bible provides an interesting detail about the construction. The builders used baked bricks instead of stone. They also used bitumen, a natural form of asphalt, as mortar. This matches what historians know about ancient Mesopotamia. Unlike regions rich in stone, Mesopotamia relied heavily on mud bricks. Massive structures were often built using this technology. Thousands of workers may have participated. Bricks were molded, dried, and stacked. Foundations expanded. Walls rose higher. Year after year, the tower grew. The city surrounding it flourished. To the builders, their dream seemed unstoppable. But history would take a dramatic turn. According to Genesis, God observed the city's construction. The people were united. They shared a common language, and their collective power was growing. Then came the event that would define the entire story. God confused their language. Suddenly, communication broke down. Workers could no longer understand one another. Instructions became meaningless. Conversations turned into confusion. Projects stalled. Arguments erupted. The once unified workforce fractured into separate groups. Without communication, cooperation became impossible. Construction stopped. The city was abandoned, and humanity scattered across the earth. The place became known as Babel, a name associated with confusion. It is one of the most dramatic moments in biblical history. But could there be a historical explanation behind the story? Many scholars believe the story of Babel may be connected to the ancient city of Babylon. Babylon was one of the greatest cities of the ancient world. Its influence stretched across vast territories. Its rulers commanded powerful armies. Its architecture amazed visitors, and its monuments became legendary. For centuries, Babylon symbolized human achievement and imperial power. The city featured enormous walls, grand palaces, and towering temples. Among these structures stood something particularly interesting, a gigantic ziggurat, and this may hold the key to the Babel mystery. Archaeologists have identified a massive Babylonian ziggurat known as Etemenanki. Its name roughly translates to House of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth. Even the name sounds strikingly similar to the Babel story. Historical records suggest the structure stood approximately 300 feet tall. For the ancient world, that was an astonishing height. The tower featured multiple levels stacked upon one another. A temple sat at the summit. From a distance, it would have appeared to reach toward the sky. Ancient visitors described it as one of Babylon's greatest landmarks. Some historians believe memories of this structure may have inspired the biblical account. Although no definitive proof exists, Etemenanki remains the strongest archaeological candidate for the Tower of Babel. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Babel story involves language itself. Today, the world contains thousands of languages. These languages belong to different families. English, German, and Dutch share common roots. Arabic and Hebrew belong to another family. Chinese languages developed along a different path. Linguists have spent centuries studying how languages evolve. Most experts believe languages gradually diverged over long periods. Communities become isolated. New words emerge, pronunciations change, dialects form. Eventually, entirely new languages develop. Interestingly, this process creates a result somewhat similar to the Babel story. Humanity becomes linguistically divided. The difference lies in the explanation. Science points to gradual evolution. The biblical narrative describes a sudden event. The debate continues today. Not everyone interprets the Tower of Babel story literally. Some scholars view it as symbolic. In this interpretation, the story serves as a warning against pride. Human beings attempted to elevate themselves beyond their limits. The tower became a symbol of arrogance. Others see it as an explanation for cultural diversity. The story helps answer an ancient question: why do people speak different languages? Still others believe the narrative preserves a memory of real historical events surrounding Babylon and its great monuments. Each interpretation offers a different perspective, yet all of them point toward deeper questions about humanity itself. Thousands of years later, the Tower of Babel remains relevant. It appears in books, films, artwork, and religious teachings. Its themes are timeless: human ambition, innovation, unity, pride, communication, division. The story reminds us that great achievements often depend on cooperation. It also highlights how fragile communication can be. A misunderstanding between individuals can create conflict. A misunderstanding between nations can change history. Whether viewed as literal history, symbolic teaching, or ancient memory, Babel continues to speak to every generation. Did a unified humanity once attempt to build a tower that reached the heavens? Was the story inspired by Babylon's towering ziggurats? Could Etemenanki be the historical foundation behind the legend? Or is Babel primarily a symbolic lesson about human pride and ambition? The truth remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The Tower of Babel has survived for thousands of years because it touches something deeply human. Our desire to achieve greatness, our struggle to communicate, and our search for meaning in the stories of the past. So, what do you think? Was the Tower of Babel a real structure, a symbolic story, or something in between? Let us know in the comments, and join us next time as we explore another one of history's greatest mysteries in What Really Happened.